Hey, good morning. Welcome to Dulcimer Diary. I've been thinking about sus chords this morning. Listen to some of these, they're kind of cool. Neat sound. It's just a little hint of them in there. That's a neat sound. What are sus chords? Well, I'm not going to go all into it, but you take the root, the third, and the fifth of a chord, and then you look at that third. You find the third in your chord shape, and you either raise it to the next higher note in the scale or lower it to the next lower note in the scale. And there's other ways to look at it. But you can take any chord you're playing on the dulcimer, find the third, and raise it or lower it. The first way to try is following the notes of the scale you're in. But you can even break outside of the notes. Now, if you don't know what any of that means, there went the thick pick. If you don't know what any of that means, put that on your to-do list. I always think of using it on Amazing Grace. Listen. Hear that little bit there? I'll often think of an upcoming chord, especially when the melody is not the third, but you can make it the third. Think of an upcoming chord, and instead of just hitting a plain major chord, I hit a sus chord. Sus is short for suspended. I always imagine like the root, third, and the fifth of a chord, and the third has a string hanging on it, and I can suspend it higher to the fourth, or I can suspend it lower to the second. Listen to the end of Amazing Grace. Here's a G. A lot of times we'll go to a G at the end of Amazing Grace. It gives a modern flavor. It gives a sense of movement to things. Why am I thinking about suspended chords? Thanksgiving. I'm suspended between I want to eat everything I can get my hands on and I don't. I'm somewhere between that. I don't know. That's weird. Suspended chords. What do I mean? A sense of movement? A sense of movement. If you're backing up somebody and you're just playing a D chord, let's move generally more to the idea of a sense of movement. If you're just strumming like this, it's a little bit static sounding. Let's say it's a song where you got to play 4 measures of a D major chord. One way to add movement is to hit the strings less. Listen to this. 2, 3, 4. comes along. Another way is to do some cross picking or flat picking. So rhythmically, technique-wise, there's things you can do to give a sense of movement. It's like the listener is just going to hear that this is not some static idea, that it's doing things. Well, if you add the sus chords into all that, this is just going to be D major with some sus2, sus4. Now you might think, well, that just sounds like you're playing melody. Kinda. If I had someone else here singing or playing melody, I would try to fit what I'm doing in so it doesn't step on their toes. Flip shapes sound really good for backup when you're doing the sus stuff. That reminds me of that I don't know if it's Neil Diamond or no. I was thinking of Rhinestone Cowboy at the beginning, which is Glenn Campbell. Movement. Basically, I often think if you're playing any chord, forget about whether it's the third or the fifth or the root. Just try moving one of the strings up or down in the scale. So if you're doing a D chord, like a 2, 3, 4, you can move the bass down and then up. And those are indeed sus2, sus4 flavors. But try moving the middle now on a 2, 3, 4. Now, all of this does sound more modern. I probably wouldn't do this on Whiskey Before Breakfast. But let's move the melody string there. So if I take all the chords of a tune and do this with it, it gets pretty interesting. What song is that? That might not be the exact song, but that's a neat idea. I can hear all the people only into old time Dulcimer hanging up. Neat sounds. I mean, you should spend a part of your Dulcimer life. There goes the thick pick again. It won't stay on the leg. It's just like an iPhone without a case. Why do they make those picks so slick? Next question. Why are the picks so slick? I think they want you to drop both of them, and often. Whew. Spend a part of your life just making music with chords. You know, you could be accused of not playing a melody, but you can kind of be melodic with your backup chord practice. If I were you, there goes the capo. I wouldn't put things on your leg when you're shooting a video, but take your 3 chords, your L shape, 002, calling these out from the bass, 2, 3, 4, extended slant 4, 5, 7. Take those 3 shapes and learn to move them around using just the notes that are in a D major scale. Here's all your L's. It's 1, one little tricky one in there. Your slants. Your extended. And then flip them all. Do all that. Everything I just did would flip them. And this one. These are really meaty sounding chords. Love them. I love this one. I didn't used to. Some of the ugliest chords require context for the beauty to be obvious. What a good metaphor in life, right? Some of the ugly things in life require some context before you can see them as beautiful. Maybe some of them never make it to beautiful. Some experiences are just ugly. So take those three main chord shapes. Be able to play them all over, staying in a certain key. Go to a different key, move them around. You might have some different note choices. If you have a 6.5 fret, 1.5 fret, that gives you different options. But just move chords around. I'm just going to move some chords around here. L's. And every once in a while, play around with the sus or any of the strings. Here's some slants. Here's some extended slants. Oh, this sounds like that Stevie Nicks thing. Kinda. I don't think that's it, but when you start moving chords around, you will start hearing songs that you've heard, you know. What's that? Sometimes in country music, they'll take these sus sounds and slow them down. I love that. Pretty neat. Well, now that I was going to talk about the thick pick, but I can't get it, and the capo a little bit. Goodness gracious! If you want to hear me work with this stuff in more detail, please check out Dulcimer A to Z.com. Dulcimer A to Z.com. I'm going to end with a Thanksgiving tune here. What's a Thanksgiving tune? Precious Memories. That's a good one. How They Ever Flood My Soul. Is that the words? I'm thinking about people that have moved on. I can see their faces. People who have passed away. I may have talked to... I'm going to just repeat myself. Haven't I said that before? Uncle Riley, I said, I sure miss Grandma Serber. And he said, Stevie, I miss a lot of them. A lot of different people we miss. I like to see him in my mind. My dad, I can always think of what he would say to me. I hope I'm not making it up, the things he would say. Steve, son, you don't listen to me half the time. How would you know what I'm saying? You know. Oh, there's some good ones to think about. I don't want to get hung up on this, but Jimmy Carey, WX9DX. Jimmy passed away recently. It's a hard one for me. He, I might have mentioned this before. I gotta quit saying that. He he had been through so much medical stuff in his life that it hurt to press the strings down like quite a bit. And one day I tuned him down to B, F sharp, B, where the strings are almost too floppy. And he's, he could play again. I like that. It's a good lesson learned. I think of Tucker, who was our MC at Kentucky Music Week. Well, I forget. I don't. He did a little bit there, but he did a lot at the. I'm starting to get older. He did a lot for the Ohio Valley Gathering as an MC. His wife invented the Cabbage Patch doll, and I think they stole her idea, something like that. I think of Maddie McNeil. How she liked to go into a room and she needed a little time to get ready for the concert, not just playing, but headspace. She came from a theatrical background, so a lot of times before I go out, I think of Maddie getting ready. I mean, I could go on and on, right? Heather's mama. Getting to know some of these people. Sometimes I miss people I didn't even meet. Heather's dad, I end up doing all this research, trying to read about him and ask about him and look for pictures because I want to meet him. So there's a guy I miss that I kind of never met. Anyway, I'm thankful that we can see these things in our mind like a movie. Precious memories. Some memories better left forgotten, but precious memories. Enjoy them. So here we go. Have a good holiday season. A little bit of precious memories for you.